just soaking wet out today. It rained all night, rained all day yesterday, gonna rain all day today, and it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow. So it's a nasty mess out here. But I kind of just wanted to do a little intro video on the day, and I'll add to it all day. And we'll go from there. It looks like it's going to rain all day today, so you know, there's a lot of stuff I do on rainy days, though. I don't really mind it this time of the year as much as I would in the summertime, because in the summertime what happens when it rains is well, you got to have rain for the grass to grow, so that's a good thing, but it's never a good time, because in the summertime there's always something to do. So you know, when it rains in, you know, October, November, and it rains for a couple of days, I'm okay with it, you know. The schedule does not get backed up, you know. In the summertime when it rains, it can get really ugly really quick, as far as your scheduling and all goes. You could be, you know, if you're doing, you know, 10 or 20 lawns a day, or 10 or 15 lawns a day, man, and it rains one day, and you can't work that one day, then everything gets pushed around. And, you know, luckily, you know, somehow, you know, now that I think about it, you know, I don't really even know how we're able to keep up and keep everybody pretty much on the same route, same day, all that. So I'm always trying to, you know, keep the route going. And yeah, if you have to take a day off in the summertime, then you always have to make up for it on the weekend. And I do that all the time, all summer long. I mean, all summer long I'm doing that. So it's just something that you have to do to be in this line of work, you know. But then you get days like today where, you know, and yesterday, where you can't hardly do anything. We did one little bush job yesterday, and that was it. It was over. So the only reason why I paid for him to come back was because we're going to start doing the firewood. We're going to start processing the firewood and all. And he's the best firewood splitter guy that I got. You know, I don't have my other guys. They're not real good at that, because when you're doing firewood, you're not going to make none of the kind of money that you would make if you're cutting grass. And so the guys that work for me during the regular summer, they're used to making a certain amount of money in a certain amount of time, give or take. And when you're doing firewood, that's no longer the case. You got to split a bunch of wood in order to get any good money, and so that means you got to stay focused. You can't be lollygagging, you can't be daydreaming, and you know. But like I was saying yesterday morning, you know, help is a hardcore issue that I'm having right now. I'm not stressing too hard about it, y'all, because the end of the season's here, and I could just about do it all myself. I mean, this close to being able to just do everything myself. You know, I got to get a few more jobs out of the way that I've committed to, and when I committed to them, I committed in thinking that I would have help for those jobs. So my guy showed up yesterday, and we went and did one little property, and that was it. He was 30 minutes late. So we might have could have done 2 properties if it had been on time, and we might have could have done 3 if he'll come a little early every now and then. But if you tell the guys that work for me, if I tell them to be at my house at 8 o'clock, 9 times out of 10 Now, every now and then they'll come early. To hear them say this the other way around. Every now and then they'll get there before. But for the most part, if I tell them, you know, between 7:30 and 8 o'clock, it'll be 8 o'clock. If I tell them 8:30, 8:35, you know. If I tell them 8 o'clock, and I try not to tell them a hardcore time, because then when they can't get there on that time, and you don't, and you're not in a position to fire them or anything, then, you know, you want to be in a spot to where, you know, you don't want to put them in a spot where they can't succeed. So if I say hardcore 8, be at my house, and you're 5 minutes late, then I'm an asshole for getting on to you for being 5 minutes late. 5 minutes late. And we know 5 minutes ain't gonna make a difference here or there. But your heart's gotta be in it, man. And if your heart ain't in it, and you're late, and you're always something, you know, and your heart's not in the job, you're just coming for a check, you know. And I guess we all are coming for a check, you know. I mean, we all, you know, me included, you know. I mean, I wouldn't do this for free, so I guess, you know, but my heart's in it, you know. You know, I am all in. And though I don't want the guys, I know the guys that work for me are not going to be all in like me. They can't even seem to get to work on time. They can't keep a vehicle. Hell, there was a season there where I couldn't even get the damn dude to get a phone. He thought he was going to drive my second truck, and there wasn't going to be a phone. He wasn't going to have a phone in the truck with him where I could call him or he could call me. I mean, I'm not going to ever let anybody drive none of my trucks, none of my equipment vehicles or anything if you don't have a phone. And if you have a phone, there's a big truck coming by. I'll make sure you don't hit me. And if you have a phone, if you don't have a phone, having a phone or not having a phone is a pretty freaking big deal to me, you know. Because in today's day and age, if you ain't got a phone, then I don't know where you've been. And that makes me question everything. You know, that makes me question, you know, are you really, you know, in it? Are you really, you know, living? I mean, what are you doing with all your money? You know, so I told the guy that he wouldn't get a phone. And so I told the guy, this was last year, I told the guy, I sent him home, you know. Come show up, gonna get in the other truck and not have a phone. And I told him, no, you're not gonna do that. I sent him home. No phone, no work, no driving my other truck, and you know, and I already had a guy in the truck with me. So if you're driving the other truck, then you're gonna have to have a phone. So what happened was I told him that other truck was gonna run whether he's driving it or not, and if I have to go down and get a phone to put in that truck, then that job for running that truck just turned into a little bit of a lesser job. You know, you're gonna cost the business money because you don't want to have a phone. You don't want to pay for a phone. Well, the business is not gonna, the business don't mind. The business will pay for a phone, no problem. But with that being said, that means your pay for running that truck goes down, because you just made it where the truck expenses go up. When I have to spend, you know, $60, $70 a month on a phone line for that truck. And I'm not gonna buy a little old cheap phone and cheap plan and spotty service. I'm gonna go for the business, earning money, GPS, all the things that I want to be able to count on. It's gonna be about $60 or $70 a month. It's probably gonna be a $400 or $500 phone that I put in the truck. And so if I have to do that, you know, then the guy's pay that runs the truck goes down. He's not going to make as much money, you know. And if he can use his phone, then that's an expense that the truck doesn't have to come up with, that the business doesn't have to come up with, you know, the cost of the phone and the monthly charge. And so I told him that I was going to put a phone in that truck, and that the pay for that truck was going to drop down about $3 an hour. You know, it was going to go from like $16 or $17 an hour to about $13 an hour. You know, and if that's what you want to do, we'll do it. You know, it didn't matter to me because it doesn't matter to me because the business is going to pay for everything, and I'm going to get it back for paying less labor. So, yeah. So if these guys thought that he was going to come out here without a phone, he lost about 3 days pay because he came out here a couple of days without a phone, thinking that he was going to drive that truck, and I wasn't going to know he didn't have a phone. You know, I mean, people just think that guys like me are just stupid, man. I guess, I don't know. Been doing this for a while, man. I've seen all the game people got, so quit with the games and let's just go on and see. They kept putting off getting a phone. I mean, he making $350, $400 a week at that point, and he won't get a phone. You know, and I ain't saying he has to have a top of the line phone. It's got to be GPS enabled, and it's got to get decent service. But if the business had to buy a phone for that truck, it's going to be Verizon service, and it's going to be, I'm not going to worry about, you know, what it costs too much. You know, of course, I'm not going to buy a $1,000 phone and put in that truck, but I could see spending $300 and $400 on a phone for that truck. So, and then, you know, $60 or $70 a month line for that truck. So, and these things that just add up over time. This tells you the mentality of some of the guys that work for me, and me trying to change their mentality. You know, the guy really thought he was going to come to work, make $400 a week, and not have to have a phone, not have to. I mean, and in today's society, who the hell ain't got a phone? I mean, I know everybody ain't got a phone like I got or whatever, but everybody's got a phone, man. I mean, everybody. What the hell? That's the craziest thing I've ever heard, you know? So it just, you know, there's just a history here with these guys that work for me that I know all about, and all the pitfalls of having to dodge all these things over the course of, you know, 2 or 3 years, 2 or 3 seasons. Trying to work a guy in the off season, it's hard to do every day, because I don't want to work every day, because I got a lot of other stuff I need to do that I've been laxing on all summer. And so usually right at the end of the year, when the grass starts slowing down, I'll be able to step away from the business for a minute, and, you know, take a month or so and do some things around the house that I have been not doing, do some you know, maintenance stuff to all the equipment, and that kind of thing. So, you know, the guys that work for me, you know, they don't want to learn how to do any maintenance stuff. You know, I mean, it's so crazy. The guys that work for me, they can't even change the blades on the mower, man. You know, they don't even know how to check the oil in a mower. You know, I mean, it's just, yeah. Anyway, I know I'm rambling all. I'm rambling, so, you know, I'm fixing to go in here and get a little breakfast. It's raining now, and I'm gonna me a cup of coffee and figure out what I'm gonna do on this wet, rainy day. I've got a couple things I'm gonna put online to sell. I took some pictures of some stuff, and usually I'll try to go through some of the equipment, you know, and sell some of the stuff that I'm going to be replacing or that I did not use this summer. If I didn't use it this summer, as far as lawnmowers, weed eaters and stuff go, then I'm probably going to put it on the selling block, because I haven't used it in a year. I don't keep a whole lot of equipment around because all my equipment runs, cranks up, runs, and you know, I don't keep junk. Excuse me.